Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today is an absolutely wild day in the world of daytime drama, and the atmosphere is thick with tension. We have been analyzing the latest shocking developments, and the implications are truly earth-shattering. The dynamics have shifted forever, and we are here to break down every single terrifying detail. Let's get right into it. Hold on, what if everything we believed about this character was wrong? I genuinely don't know what to believe anymore. We just witnessed Eva lying in that sterile, blindingly white hospital bed, hovering on the absolute brink of death. Her life was slipping away, the monitors were flatlining in our minds, and then Kat steps up. Kat, the ultimate rival, the woman who has traded vicious barbs and venomous glares with Eva for what feels like an eternity. Kat volunteers for a high-risk organ transplant to save Eva's life. Why? Why would she do that? My mind is racing. I can't stop thinking about this. Was it pure altruism? Or is this the most calculated, terrifying power play in the history of this family? The surgery was a success, yes. Both of them woke up. The monitors beeped in a steady, synchronized rhythm. But did you see the way the camera lingered on Kat's face before she went under the anesthesia? That reaction didn't feel human. It didn't look like fear. It looked like anticipation. Do you think she planned this from the start? No, that's crazy. Or is it? Let's talk about the exact moment Eva opened her eyes. The editing in that scene was completely unhinged. The camera cut rapidly between Eva's blurry perspective and the harsh fluorescent lights above. It felt disorienting, almost nauseating, and then the realization hits her. The organ keeping her alive, the very tissue filtering her blood or beating in her chest, belongs to Kat, her enemy. Her nemesis. I am spiraling just thinking about the psychological weight of that. When Eva was told who her donor was, she cried. She looked overwhelmingly grateful. But look closer. Look at the micro-expressions. Was that pure gratitude, or was it the crushing, suffocating realization of an eternal debt? Why does every scene feel emotionally manipulated? The show wants us to think this is a beautiful story of reconciliation, but something is deeply off here. The way Eva's hand clutched the bedsheets, her knuckles were white. That's not just relief. That's terror. She knows she is bound to Kat forever now. She literally carries a piece of her enemy inside her. How do you ever fight back against someone who gave you your internal organs? You can't. You are owned. And Kat, oh my God, Kat, maybe I'm reading too deeply into this, but did you catch that microscopic pause before Kat smiled back at Eva? The two of them, lying in their respective recovery beds, separated only by a few feet of linoleum floor and a mountain of unresolved trauma. Eva looks over, tears streaming down her face, whispering her thanks. And Kat just stares for a fraction of a second too long. The silence in that room was deafening. There was no background music for exactly 3 seconds. Why did the director choose absolute silence? It felt like a threat. Then Kat smiles, a weak, post-operative smile. But the eyes were entirely dead. Or maybe they were victorious. I can't tell anymore. This keeps getting worse the more I think about it. Kat risked her life, yes. But what is the currency of a life saved? It's absolute, unquestioning loyalty. Kat didn't just save Eva, she bought her. She purchased the moral high ground for the rest of their lives. If Eva ever crosses Kat again, Kat doesn't even have to say a word. She just has to touch her own surgical scar. We need to talk about Ted. Ted's reaction is the key to this entire conspiracy. Ted, watching his daughter Eva miraculously pulled from the jaws of death and realizing that the savior is Kat. Ted has been caught in the crossfire of these two women for so long. But when he looked at Kat through the glass of the ICU, the way his shoulders slumped, it wasn't just relief, it was defeat. He knows what this means. How can Ted ever oppose Kat again? How can he ever take Eva's side in a future argument without sounding like an ungrateful monster? Kat has effectively neutralized Ted. She has checkmated the patriarch. By saving his daughter, she has wrapped Ted around her little finger. Maybe that means nothing, but no, it means everything. The power dynamics of the entire family have been completely inverted. Cod is now the untouchable saint. Ted owes her his daughter's life. Eva owes her her own life. Cod is sitting on the throne, and she bought it with her own flesh. I am losing my mind over the potential for future betrayals. If Eva truly wants to make peace, if she genuinely wants to build a bridge and become a real family, will Cod even let her? Or is Cod going to hold this over her head like a guillotine? Imagine the next family dinner, the tension, the unspoken words. Eva reaches for the salt, and Cod just looks at her. That eye contact. We all know how Cod uses eye contact to dominate a room. Now, every single stare will be loaded with "you are breathing because I allow it." It's psychological warfare disguised as a medical miracle. Why was she smiling during that scene with the doctor? When the doctor said the graft was taking perfectly, Cod smiled, but she looked at Eva's monitor, not Eva's face. She was looking at the data. She was looking at her investment paying off. And what happens when the honeymoon phase of this recovery ends? Because it will end. It always ends. The gratitude Eva feels right now is a fragile, unstable element. Right now, it's tears and holding hands across hospital beds. But what happens in 3 months? What happens when Cod starts making demands? Subtle at first. Eva, could you do this for me? After all, I did give you a piece of myself. The resentment is going to build like a pressure cooker. Eva's gratitude will curdle into a feeling of being a hostage. A biological hostage. I can't breathe just thinking about the claustrophobia of their relationship now. If Eva accidentally hurts Cod again, say she makes a sarcastic comment out of habit, the entire family will turn on Eva. How could you say that to the woman who saved your life? Eva is trapped in a cage of moral obligation. Or maybe the show wants us to ignore the obvious. Maybe we are supposed to believe Cod is a reformed angel. But I refuse to be gaslit. I remember the history. I remember the screaming matches, the sabotage, the pure, unadulterated hatred between these two. You don't just erase years of venom with a scalpel. You don't just cut out the hate when you transplant an organ. The hate is in the blood. It's in the memory. Cod's sacrifice is so enormous, so undeniably heroic, that it feels like a trap. It's a beautifully wrapped gift with a ticking bomb inside. I am predicting it right now. Cod is going to use this to isolate Eva. She's going to make Eva so dependent on her, so consumed by guilt and debt, that Eva will push everyone else away. Cod wants to be the only sun in Eva's sky, not out of love, but out of a twisted need for absolute control. Let's look at the nervous behavior of the secondary characters. Did you see the nurses? The way they were whispering in the hallway, they know. They can feel the toxic energy radiating from that ICU room and the objects. Why did the camera focus on the 2 glasses of water on their bedside tables? One glass was half full, the other was completely full. Is that a metaphor? Is Eva the half-empty vessel now, filled only by Cod's sacrifice? I am tearing my hair out trying to decode this. The visual storytelling is screaming at us that this is not a happy ending. This is the prologue to a psychological thriller. The water, the monitors, the sterile white blankets. It's all a canvas for the emotional bloodbath that is about to happen. What if Cod's body starts rejecting the consequences of the surgery? What if she has complications? Oh my God! If Cod suffers long-term health issues because she saved Eva, Eva will literally never be free. She will have to become Cod's caretaker. The ultimate punishment, the ultimate revenge. Cod sacrifices her own health to turn her greatest rival into her personal servant for the rest of her life. It's brilliant. It's evil. It's the most Machiavellian thing I have ever seen on television. I am pacing around my room right now. Do you think she planned this from the start? Did she research the complication rates? Did she know she would be weakened just so she could lean on Eva and crush her with the weight of her dependency? I genuinely don't know what to believe anymore. Half of me wants to cry because the scene of them waking up was so beautifully acted. The vulnerability. The raw, unfiltered human connection of two women realizing they are now bound by blood and tissue. But the other half of me is screaming to run. Run, Eva, run, but she can't run. She can't run away from her own body. This is the genius of the writing. They have trapped the characters, and they have trapped us, the audience. We are locked in this paranoid cycle of second-guessing every single breath they take. When Eva inhaled deeply, closing her eyes in relief, was she breathing for herself, or was she breathing for Cot? And what about the family dynamics moving forward? The power vacuum has been filled. Cot is the undisputed matriarch of morality now. Anyone who questions Cot will be burned at the stake of public opinion. Ted is completely neutered as an authority figure. He will just stand in the corner, nodding along, forever indebted to the woman who kept his daughter from the grave. The resentment Ted might feel towards his own powerlessness. Will he start to secretly hate Cot for making him owe her? Will Ted and Eva form a secret alliance to break free from Cot's saintly tyranny? The emotional power struggles are going to be apocalyptic. Every family gathering will be a minefield. I can't stop obsessing over the dialogue. You saved me, those were Eva's words. You saved me, but the tone, the pitch of her voice. It cracked on the word saved. It didn't sound like a choir of angels. It sounded like a prison door slamming shut. And Cot's response, we're family now, family. The way she dragged out the syllables, family. It sounded like a curse. It sounded like a life sentence without the possibility of parole. Why did she emphasize now? Because before, they were enemies. Now, they are something much worse. They are symbiotes, a parasite and a host, but I can't even figure out who is who anymore. This keeps getting worse the more I think about it. If Eva tries to make amends, if she truly, deeply tries to love Cot as a sister, as family, will Cot trust it? Can Cot, a woman who has survived on suspicion and rivalry, ever truly accept peace? If Eva brings her a cup of tea, Cot is going to look at it like it's poisoned. The paranoia is infectious. Cot will think Eva is only being nice out of obligation. Eva will think Cot is constantly judging her. They are going to drive each other insane. The surgery didn't heal them. It infected them with each other's trauma. The physical wounds will close, the scars will fade, but the psychological hemorrhage is just beginning. Let's rewind to the doctor's face. Did anyone else catch that? When the surgeon came out to deliver the news to Ted, he took off his mask, and there was a shadow across his eyes. He said the surgery was a success, but he hesitated. A microsecond of hesitation. Why? What isn't he telling us? Did Cot make a secret deal with the medical staff? Did she stipulate some insane condition for the donation? I can't stop thinking about this. What if Cot has a kill switch? Okay, not a literal kill switch. That's sci-fi, but a legal one. A psychological one? The doctor looked at Ted not with joy, but with pity. You don't pity a man whose daughter just survived. You pity a man who just sold his soul to the devil without realizing the ink was dry. Ted is walking around the hospital corridors like a ghost, completely unaware that the foundation of his family has been hijacked. I need to lie down, but I can't. The adrenaline is too high. If Eva ever, even for a second, forgets what Cot did, the universe will punish her. The show is setting up a tragic downfall. I can see the finale now, a massive argument. Eva screaming, I didn't ask you to save me. And Cot, cool as ice, replying, but I did, and you will never be able to undo it. The sheer emotional violence of that inevitable confrontation is haunting me. It's not just a medical procedure. It's a permanent shifting of the tectonic plates of their lives. A tsunami is coming. The water is pulling back right now, leaving all these beautiful, shiny shells of gratitude and peace on the beach. But the wave is building. The wave of resentment, debt, and absolute paranoia is going to crash down and drown them all. And honestly, I don't think any of them will survive the emotional wreckage. And what about the physical scars? Every time Eva looks in the mirror, she is going to see the incision line. A permanent, physical reminder that she is not wholly her own anymore. Kat has signed her name into Eva's flesh. It's a signature. It's an artist signing their masterpiece. Only the canvas is a human life. I am spiraling. I am completely losing my grip on reality trying to process the magnitude of this storyline. Will they hug in the next episode? If they hug, who lets go first? The person who lets go first holds the power. Watch the hands. Watch the fingers. If Kat pats Eva on the back, it's not comfort, it's an assessment of her property. I genuinely don't know what to believe anymore, but I know this. The war isn't over. It just moved underground. It moved into their veins.